I get
like vanilla ice cream.
I had the most depressing Uber ride of all time when I left you.
Really?
Of all time. We had a great weekend, and you can have, and it takes very little time to get to my place. I get in, and the guy he's very overweight, rather gray, but he's all gray, but he's 7 years younger than me. So I look at him, and he says, I said, and I go, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, is it going to rain? He goes, keep threatening to. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah. I go, cool. I go, and he said, yeah, they shut this area off. He knew the airport really well. I go, how long have you been driving Uber? He goes, a lot longer than I care to admit. And I was like, oh, okay. What else do you do? He goes, well, right now I'm trying to get into computer programming, but I'm terrible at networking. I was like, oh, I didn't know that computer programming required networking.
Kind of solo job.
I was like, right. So cool. And he goes, but just resorted to this, and he pulls out a book, and he goes, self-help,
Tony Robbins style, or who was
that kind of stuff. Oof. It was an old book, and I went, one of the first self-help books, and I went, I said, Think and Grow Rich, and I go, Think and Grow Rich. I go, okay. I go, now you know me, you'll shut your mouth. I have to try to get in there and help somebody. Like, you have a headache, I got to tell you about your blood vessels. I got to help the guy.
I call it a waste of time.
No, and you're right. You're right, but I never learn. So I go, he goes, well, I'm starting first. I want to just try to start losing weight. And I go, yeah.
About nutrition.
Well, you can't talk to the nutrition expert.
Yeah.
Because
the ectomorph give you some.
Exactly.
Here's the other thing. Let me get, long story short, he's on the podcast Wednesday.
Dude,
whenever you book guests, it's always.
I'm glad.
Dude, I've known him for a long time.
I'm glad you said that.
He's a good friend of mine.
I'm glad you said that. He's worth it.
As soon as I hear that, I see Raiden go.
But it was so funny because I say to him, I start in with my nutrition thing.
Oh no!
And he goes, he hits me with this. I go, what are you eating? And he goes, I'm eating only. I have just some fruit in the morning, and then I have a sandwich, and then I have a salad. I go, that's a lie. I said, what else are you eating? He goes, that's it. I take in 1,600 calories. And we're going to the doctor to figure out why I can't lose weight. And I said, well, how's your energy level? He goes, that's the thing. I've always had no energy ever since I was a kid. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like thinking, I go, so as we're driving, we're almost home. And I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here. And then I go, he goes, oh, and the first thing was, he goes, he picks me up. I go, I hate traveling. And he goes, right, you coming or going? I was like, well, we're driving away from the airport. So obviously you're out of your mind.
But no, maybe he thought you landed and then you were going somewhere. Like you're from Boston. You landed.
But he picked me up at arrival. He picked me up from the airport and taken me home.
Well, he doesn't know it's your house. You might be going to see a girl. Right.
Okay. But still, you pick me up and you're taking me away from the airport. That would usually mean if you were taking me toward the airport, it'd be, it was just weird. So then he goes like this. So I start to give him advice. I go, well, maybe try to do this. And he goes, yeah, the thing is, I had a fatal heart attack.
Oh,
I go, yeah, when I was 3 years ago, when he was 42.
Jeez, man.
And I said, why? He goes, the vessels in my heart are curved, and so junk gets caught in them really.
Oh, junk, you mean fat?
Yeah, and I just went, I go, no. And I just went like this we got there, and I went like this. I go, well, I wish you the best of luck.
I get out like I'm a blackjack dealer. I just go like this. Thank you for your time. When they switch, I just go, thank you.
Well, you just go right to your phone.
No, it's a waste of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I wonder how much time I've spent.
I don't even go to my phone. I just stare out the window and pretend I don't hear him.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to help people.
It's the waste of time. It's not even like you with a 5-minute ride with that Uber driver. You're not going to.
So here's my question to you. Here's my question. And I was thinking about this.
What would I have done?
No. Here's my question philosophically. So you have a grown man who's down.
How old?
Let's say he's 45.
He was 45.
Let's say he's 30.
No, let's say 45. Let's stick to 45, Brian. Let's call it what it is. He's 45 Uber driver.
Is there anything a man can say to another man on that ride, anything that can make a difference or change his life?
Is your name Tony Robbins?
No.
Is your name Tony Robbins, Bryan Callen?
No.
Do you have it all figured out?
No.
Then what are you doing? I'm sorry. Is your name Tony Robbins?
But isn't there, have you ever, or isn't there a way for somebody to say one thing to you that changes your perspective on yourself and gives you some inspiration? Is it possible?
Not if I'm 45 years old looking for the guy that I picked up in the car to give me inspo, as they call it.
So no inspo.
Inspo's okay. It's that ship has sailed.
That ship has sailed, right?
No, he sat there long enough looking at all.
Ain't
everyone
nothing
else.
you can do,
That's
right?
why nope. He's not even in the lane.
How about if you're 25?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Then you can make a difference. I mean, people can hear something that can change their. Because I had a guy say, you think of strength as you're trying to be a dog when you're a cat. Like sometimes you can be redefined and you can kind of stop trying to be this versus who you are.
I don't know. That advice stuff's always weird, man. I had a kid. I wrote a bunch of artwork, and this guy's assistant dropped it off. He's young, man, 19, I think, and he dropped it off, and he goes, "Fuck, man." And this is how you know he's young, because he talks like this. #goals. #inspo. That's where I got inspo from. I've never heard it before.
I love it.
#goals. #inspo. Is that car yours? I went, that's mine, man. And he goes, God dang, this is crazy, man. He goes, and then he drops off my stuff. I'm helping carry it. And he goes, what advice would you give him, man? I'm 19. You know, my brother does this, something in finance. And, you know, I'm going to start, and he's talking about this app, because I'm going to make money and all that stuff. And I said, the only advice I can give you, it's the only thing I can't give you much. The only thing I say is do not do anything for money. Then you're going to be fucked.
Yes.
That's never going to work.
That's good advice.
I went, that's it.
But my larger question.
#inspo.
My larger question is.
No one comes to Bryan and Bryn for inspo.
Yeah. But my larger question is that I feel like there's nothing, like you either are motivated to find inspiration or you're not, right? So like.
Well, you're going to find it.
I was talking to my sister about this, like, what the fuck was I saying? What was the thing? But I remember saying, I've always been motivated. Like no matter what, even when I was a kid, I always had a plan. I would always have these plans. So if it was like to get a black belt in, you know, Taekwondo or become a really good wrestler, or, you know, I always had these accomplishments until even though they didn't make money, but by the time I was 18, I was.
At that age, you're not thinking about money.
But I'd always been motivated to get something done. Like I'd have a goal.
Well, then you got it said, brother.
No, what I'm trying to say is that might be a personality type. You're either driven.
Well, I told you when Mark Munoz goes, hey, I need you to talk to the guys about coming to practice all the time. I went, all right. And I went, hey, Mark wants me to talk to you guys. It's too late. If you have to hear from me, you have to show up for practice every day. You're too late. I'd stop now and go get a job at Starbucks.
There you go.
And Mark goes, Jesus, someone has to be honest.
But that's so true, dude. That's so fucking true. It's the same thing as like you see people who have these goals, but they do nothing to get there. And it's always like I
don't waste my time on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was your biggest influence growing up?
Tony Robbins.
No, come on.
I don't know, man. There's so many.
Really?
Too many.
Your dad?
No, too many. My dad, everyone.
No, but I mean,
I get from everywhere.
Did you ever see? Do you remember when you were like, I want, or you just always had it?
Always had it. Huh. Yeah. No, there wasn't one person. A ton. #inspo. How funny is that? #house goals. #inspo.
House goals?
Yeah. Hashtag.
What are house goals?
Like he wants my house. House goals. #house goals. #inspo. Had a backwards hat on. Like it was like if you booked him a movie, like, dude, it's too on the nose for a 9-year-old or 19-year-old. He gets down and goes, "Whoa, my man!" So
That's
funny.
Forward.
It was so funny.
Hey,
he was awesome though.
Yeah.
#inspo.
And nobody ever does that about my Tesla. There's so many Teslas in LA.
The new Prius.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
When you see my back ripple and I pull myself up like a chimp 30 times bang, while talking to you, why wouldn't I give that to you as inspiration?
It's a gift, really.
It's a gift.